Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I hope you're all doing really well and I hope your February is going well so far. I am not quite sure how today's video is going to go. I thought I would just kind of go with it. So we have been moved and in our new house now for a couple of weeks. I think by the time you're watching this it will have been about 3 weeks. So we're very much still living in quite a lot of mess and quite a lot of disruption, I would say. So I'm not quite ready to sort of film my usual sewing videos, but I really wanted to pop on anyway and just say hello and kind of catch up with you all, because I had so many lovely kind messages and comments from you all just wishing us the best with our move and everything, and a couple of messages just asking how everything had gone, and I just felt like that was so kind and I'm so grateful to you all for kind of just being so nice about it. So I really wanted to pop on and just share with you how it all went, how we're getting on since we've moved in and everything, and just kind of see where the day takes me. And I thought I'd just kind of bring you along with me, and I'm going to just show you a few bits in the house of things that I kind of want to get done, and a first sneak peek of what will be my new sewing room as well. So thankfully the move itself actually went pretty smoothly in the end on the day. We were so lucky in that we had lots of help from friends and family. So I think where it kind of hits you with moving is always on the day or the couple of days before you actually move, isn't it? Because there's so much in your old house that you can't actually pack up until the very last minute, and we had friends round on the night before we moved just helping us to just shove everything into boxes, like the final bits and pieces. And then obviously on the day that we did move, I was with my mum and my mother-in-law just cleaning our old house from top to bottom as the removals moved things. Which was a big job in itself, because obviously we'd lived there for quite some time, and as you start to move furniture and things, you realise how marked and kind of dusty things are. So we were just doing our best with kind of cleaning the house and leaving it as best as we could, and it had been quite wet before we moved as well, so the floors were just getting filthy as the removals were going in and out. We were just constantly sort of hoovering and mopping and things like that, but anyway, it all got done and I'm so grateful for all the help that we had. In terms of the actual move, it all came together quite quickly in the end. So we actually got the keys for this new house at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we were literally out of our old house and into the new house by about 1:30, I think. We didn't move very far. We're only like 10 minutes away in the car. So yeah, the actual sort of travelling from one house to the other didn't take very long, but I was really happy that we managed to sort of get in and get everything unpacked from the removals at least before it got dark. And actually the removals just left just before I had to go and pick up the kids from school, so it all kind of worked out quite nicely in the end. So yeah, we got straight into it really with unpacking everything that we really needed, and then we decided to just also get on with some decorating, which we weren't necessarily planning to do, but one of our sort of main priorities was just to get the kids' rooms up and sorted so that they could be as comfortable as they could be as soon as possible. My son was actually in the middle of his 2-week GCSE mock exams. The weekend that we moved was kind of in the middle of those 2 weeks, so he had to sort of have a bedroom that was functional enough for him to be able to sit down and revise in, so that he could get straight into his exams the week they started back at school after we moved. So that was a big priority, and as we kind of shifted furniture around and things in the bedroom, we realised that some of the walls in his bedroom had kind of only been half painted, so they were sort of painted a really dark colour up to a point, and then it was really messy. So because we had so many people around helping us, we decided to just get straight on and paint the rooms, which might seem a bit crazy to some of you, but we are kind of those people. We do just have to kind of get on with stuff. Actually, because we had so much help, thankfully, we just decided to sort of take advantage of that and get as much done as we could. And it's one of those things, I think, when you're moving house, we were kind of getting some new furniture and things, and it's that thing of whether you kind of unpack and settle and get your new furniture in and then paint at a later date, or you just paint before everything new arrives so that you can have all the furniture in a nicely new painted room. Does that make any kind of sense? I don't feel like I've explained that very well, but hopefully you know what I mean. So it was like, you know, do we get in and settled and then paint later? But I feel like I feel like if we had done that, we just never would have painted. So if we had unpacked, got all our new furniture in, new bed and everything, and then had to move the furniture out to paint, I feel like it would have been one of those things that just kind of never happened, or would have been on the list for a much later date. So I am kind of glad that we just kind of bit the bullet and got on with it. So we've actually now painted my son's bedroom, my daughter's bedroom and our bedroom all in like a week and a half of being here. So yeah, it's been a bit crazy. But yeah, even though we are still living in quite the mess at the moment, still surrounded by boxes and things, we can already tell really how much better this house is going to be for us as a family. I think we just have so much more space, and our old house was a 3-bed townhouse, so it's actually on 2 floors or 3 floors, which meant quite a lot of, this sounds really silly, but just having one set of stairs is just so much better. It's funny because it was one of the things that really attracted us to the house when we first bought it, but then became kind of annoying once we did have the kids and kind of grew up a little bit. So I'm very grateful to just have one set of stairs now that I need to carry laundry up and down and hoover and things like that. That is a really big thing. I have a utility room, which I'm so pleased about. It sounds really silly, but I'm almost as happy about having a utility room as I am about having a sewing room, because it's just so nice to have somewhere to have all the washing machines and stuff out of the way, and you get so much more cupboard space in your kitchen. And now I have somewhere to hang out my washing, which isn't all over the house, so that's really nice. And I'm also so happy with our garden here. It is such a lovely garden. It's southeast facing, so we get quite a lot of sunlight. And one of the things that really attracted me to this house when we came to view it was how bright it was. We did come and view this on a really sunny day, so we probably saw it in the best possible light actually. But because it is southeast facing, the kitchen faces out onto the garden, and so does my new sewing room, which I'll show you in a minute. And we've inherited quite a few sort of well-established trees and shrubs and plants and things in the garden as well. So I'm really excited to get out in the garden in springtime, hopefully with the help of my mother-in-law, and just kind of get the garden looking really nice. We've got some big bifold sort of patio doors as well, which open out onto the garden. So I think if and when we do get some nice sunny weather here in the UK, I think it will be really lovely. But I was just standing in the kitchen yesterday making myself a cup of tea, and even on a February morning the sun was out for about 5 minutes, and this little blue tit came and perched itself in a tree right outside the window where I was making a cup of tea, and it was so close that I could actually see its feathers, and I just felt so excited about that. I just really love like the position of the garden and how much more space we've got. I think it's going to be a better family home for us, and of course I'm really excited about having a sewing room as well, and more of that to follow. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure what we are going to get up to today, but there are a few bits around the house that I really want to sort of get more organised and just make a little bit prettier, really. One of those being the utility room, which I will show you in a minute. And so I thought maybe we could go out today and I would take you with me. I just want to go and have a look for some sort of storagey bits for the utility room and other areas around the house. And yeah, hopefully we'll just have a nice, cosy home day. I know lots of you are really into sort of being at home and making your homes nice and everything, so I really hope this will be interesting, even though it is a bit of a different kind of vlog. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and I'll just take you around. I'm not going to do a big house tour or anything like that. I'm just going to show you a couple of areas in the house of things that I just want to get organised and things that I have planned for, so let's go. Okay, so this is my utility room. So this is just off of the side of the kitchen. I'm not very good at doing this kind of vlogging. I do have my tripod on, but hopefully I won't wobble around too much and make you all feel seasick. But this comes with so much storage space. So as you can see, everything is very, very grey, which is not necessarily the kind of colour scheme that I would have gone for, but nonetheless is a lovely kitchen. It's really well made and the cupboards are lovely and really spacious and everything. So I'm very pleased to have inherited this. The tiles are actually lovely at the back here. I definitely would have chosen these tiles. I do love them. It's just the sort of shiny grey units that I perhaps would have gone for something different, but as I say, not anything to worry about, and they are really, really lovely, and everything is grey, like the walls are grey as well. So eventually I'm definitely going to paint in here and just make it a little bit more girly, but at the moment it's just not really a priority. So I've got the washing machine here, and then under the sink cupboard, and then this hole over here would normally house a tumble dryer, and I think eventually we might get a tumble dryer just for extra sort of drying space, but at the moment it's doing a really good job of just housing things like my washing areas and things. So I'm thinking that perhaps I might make like a pretty curtain sort of covering thing so that I can just cover that hole up and have it looking a little bit more pretty. So I think what I want to get today, because this room is not going to really be done for a while in terms of painting and just making it look, what I would say, better. I just want to make it look a little bit prettier. So I think I've got all of my washing stuff here, like fabric conditioner, washing liquid, tumble dryer balls are in this cake tub here, which is just not very aesthetic at all, is it? So I would really like to pop somewhere and just have a look at, you know, you can get these really pretty sort of storage for scent boosters and fabric softener and things like that. I think I'm going to be that person, and I'm going to go and get some of those, and I'm just going to make my utility area a little bit prettier. I also want to get some better storage for this cupboard as well. So this, would you believe, is actually full of vitamins and tablets and cold remedies and all that kind of thing. So it really needs a big sort out, and I'm going to try and get some boxes or something that I can put all of those in and just have them look a little bit better. This is my cleaning cupboard. I'll just come back a little bit and show you. So this is pretty organised already. I did go through, I had a lovely morning sorting out all of my cleaning bits and pieces and just sorted them out into like cloths and sponges. It's amazing how many cleaning bits and pieces you do pick up, especially with moving. I just went to Tesco, I think the morning before we moved, and got loads of cleaning supplies because I knew we'd be doing so much. So that is kind of already sorted out, but I would maybe just like to label things and just make everything a little bit more nice and neat. And then I'm really lucky that I've got this sort of ironing board storage, and I'm thinking what I'd quite like to do is make myself a new ironing board cover, because this one has had it. It's so thin and also very stained as well. So I think I'm going to try and make myself an ironing board cover, which is something that I've never actually made before. I think it's one of those things that's probably cheaper to buy than it would be to make, but I would really like to have like a matching ironing board cover, and then have something hanging on the door here, maybe like a drawstring bag or something that would house all of my ironing, because at the moment all of my ironing is in this bag, and the only place it can really sit is on the draining board, and that's not really ideal. So I really want to sort of get that out of the way and have some better ironing storage. This sounds as though it's very boring chat, but please tell me you're like me and you do love this kind of stuff, because I just love organising things, and I'm so excited to sort of have somewhere that, I mean, no one else is going to come in here really. This is going to be very much my room, so I can make it as pretty and as girly as I want to. So please tell me I'm not the only one that gets excited about doing things like that. Forgive these odd socks on the side as well. So many odd socks, and I just don't know where the others are. So that is odd sock pile. Maybe I could get a basket for odd socks as well. Is that going too far? I don't know. So this here is my sewing room. Isn't it looking lovely? This is very much the dumping ground at the moment, because we've been doing so much decorating. We've just moved everything out of other rooms and just moved it all into here, pretty much. But I think this weekend I'm going to clear this and I'm going to get ready to start painting, because I just want to have it done now, and I'm not very patient. But can you see what I mean about the lovely big window here? So this faces out onto the garden. So this area here is pretty much all of my craft stuff that is going to have to go somewhere when I eventually organise this room. So I've got these bags for my sewing workshops, and then these are sort of crafty bits and pieces. I think they're projects that I have on the go, actually. And then I've got my units that used to be in the dining room of the old house, my dress form, which hopefully is going to be able to stand up all the time in this room once it's all sorted. And then patchwork, my yoga mat is over there. And then, yeah, just doing really lots of bits and pieces that need a good organised. That is my desk. So the plan is to have a desk in front of this window here that I can use to do all of my editing and computer work, and then along this edge of the wall I'm going to have a really, really long desk with like a cupboard in the middle, and I'm going to have my sewing machine one side and the overlock on the other side. And then I'm going to kind of build storage upwards. So I'm going to have shelves and pinboards and things all along this wall here. And hopefully, depending on how much space we have left, because this room is kind of long and thin, I'm not quite sure how much width I'm going to have, but I'm thinking over this side of the room can maybe be the Kallax storage with all of my fabric in. And then if I do have enough space, I would love to get some kind of pop-out table that I can use as a cutting table. I'm sorry, this is not very pretty footage, is it? But I promise eventually it's going to be prettier. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with at the moment, and I just wanted to show you these as well. So I had these rolls of fabric in the garage and I had completely forgotten about them, so I picked these up at a fabric sale. I think it must have been about this time last year, and then I put them in the garage because I wasn't quite sure what I would do with them. They're actually John Lewis fabrics, so I went to a fabric sale where they just basically sell off high-end high street store fabrics, and I picked these up for so cheap, and they're actually lovely, really lovely quality. So these are like curtain fabrics that you get from John Lewis, ticking stripe fabrics and embroidered fabrics that would have been really expensive to buy in the shop. And I'm thinking that I can maybe use those for blinds and like soft furnishings for this house at some point. Although it looks like I've got a lot of fabric on those rolls, there's not actually that much on there. So some of them only have like 1.5 meters to 2 meters on them, but they're actually really wide. So for this window, I'm not going to make the blind myself. I've actually got a blind on order, which I hope is coming today. But because it gets so nice and bright in here, I really wanted to be able to control the light a bit more. So I've actually ordered like a shutter blind, one of those blind to go blinds which just snaps in, because then I can kind of control the light a little bit more for filming, whereas if I'd made a Roman blind, it's either up or down, which isn't great if it is really bright. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to have a homemade blind in this room, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, this bedroom is our room, and we have spent some time this weekend putting this panelling up, and I'm so pleased with it. I have wanted panelling in my house for so long, and I know it's a bit of a trend thing and it might not last forever, but I still really love it. So this is very much in progress, and you can probably tell that we've got different colours everywhere. I'm going to put in an inspiration image of what I'm going for with this room at the moment. This is my current wardrobe situation. We didn't have a wardrobe in the other house, which you might remember. We just had like a walk-in cupboard type wardrobe kind of thing. I just couldn't use as hanging space. I always had to fold my dresses over. So I have actually got on order, and it should be coming soon, a lovely big wardrobe where I should be able to hang up all of my dresses and things, and I'm so excited for that. So when we go out in a minute, I think I'm going to look for some things for this bedroom as well to kind of go with the Pinterest inspiration image that I have for this room. I am so close to finishing this book now. I've got that much to go, and I've just been reading it so sporadically since we've been moving, but I'm absolutely loving this book. I'm really enjoying it. I just love her writing style. She's so descriptive, and yeah, I just really want to get to the end of it now because it's getting really actually quite exciting and I need to find out what happened. So that's my current read, which I've been reading for quite some time now, I think. One thing that has not been so good about moving is how unsettled this little one has been. So he was very unsettled the days before moving, and then on the day that we did move, he actually went to my dad's for the day so that he was out of the way and everything. Since we've moved here, he hasn't really walked, so he will walk probably to the end of our road and then he will just stop dead and not want to walk anymore and just want to run home. And it's really upsetting me because, as I mentioned, I think in one of my previous videos, one of the things that I was most worried about was actually sort of leaving the field where we used to walk every day, for myself as well as him, because I just loved that field and he did as well. And I really need to find us a new walk, but at the moment, even if I take him out to walk somewhere different, he just wants to run home again. So if anyone has any tips on sort of settling dogs after moving, please do let me know in the comments. had such a lovely morning actually, just walking around the shops on my own. I don't think there's anything better sometimes, is there, than just a little mooch around the shops, just on your own, in your own little world, just having a look around. Even if you don't buy anything, I think it can sometimes be a little bit like therapy. I love shopping anyway, as you probably know. And I do go shopping quite a lot with my mum, which is also lovely. But sometimes I just think it's really nice to wander around on your own, especially when you're kind of looking for inspiration and you've got something in mind. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog tapping away on the floor. We were saying the other day actually that the floors in this house are really, we've got tiles in the kitchen and then quite sort of flat carpets everywhere else, and you can really hear his paws tapping away on all the floors where you couldn't really in the other house, which is weird. But yeah, anyway, I had a lovely mooch around the shops this morning, and I did make a few purchases. Some things I wasn't planning to get and some things I kind of wanted but didn't end up being able to get, but I'll show you what I got. Promise this isn't going to become a haul channel or anything like that, but I thought I would just share it because, it might be interesting if you're also in a similar position to me and just organising and sort of trying to make your house a home. So I went to Dunelm, which is, if you're not in the UK, it's like a homeware store. They have just had like a big refurbishment near where I live, and the store is lovely now. It's got loads of really nice bits and pieces. So I went in there just for a mooch, really, just to see what I could see, looking for utility room stuff really, but also bits and pieces for our bedroom. So I ended up buying, this is pretty boring, but I'll share it anyway. So we have got some new stripy cotton sheets for the new bed and the kind of beige and green bedroom theme, but I needed like an undersheet and also some sort of contrasting pillows for the underneath pillows. So the outer part of the bed is going to be beige and white stripy, and then the sheet and the additional pillows are going to be beige basically. So I just picked up these beige pillowcases and then a beige fitted sheet. So our new bed is super king size, and it really does bump up the price of sheets, I've noticed. Obviously because you're buying more fabric because your bed is bigger, but I wasn't really accounting for quite how much more expensive super king stuff is. It really is quite pricey. So I do like to go for quite sort of nice kind of mid-range bedding, I'd say, like not super expensive, but I'd never want to buy the super cheap stuff either because I don't like polyestery sheets or anything. So these are Ecotex cotton, 100% cotton. So I think that's good. The sheet was £30 and the pillowcases were £10 for two. So I guess that's not bad really. Oh, it's just gone very dark. And then you will have seen me looking at this. I found one which was open, and I just really loved it. And I know what you're going to say, I could have knitted this myself, and I guess I probably could have, but at the end of the day it would have taken me absolutely ages and probably cost me more in yarn than it would have to buy. So I don't know, make of that what you will. Sometimes I want to make things and sometimes I want to buy them, but I just couldn't really resist this. It was a little bit of an investment because, again, bigger bed, you need a bigger throw. But I just love the texture of this. And with the bed, what I want to do is just kind of build up different texture. So obviously the bedding is going to be cotton, and then I want to have, when I eventually finish it, I want to have my patchwork quilt on there, which I think I'm going to have to make even bigger than planned because, again, bigger bed. And then I want to have like a knitted throw on top. So I think this will work really well. I wasn't looking for anything like this at all. It just caught my eye. And of course, I just love knitted textures. So yeah, I just had to have this. And then a couple of like bits and pieces that I brought. I brought one of these dish drying mats. These are really useful, by the way. We have a dishwasher, so most of our washing up goes in the dishwasher. But for the bits and pieces that I do wash up, I tend to leave on the draining board. And it's really handy to have one of these because they kind of soak up all the moisture rather than getting your draining board all wet and horrible. So I've had a couple of these in the past and I needed to replace them, so I just picked up that one. And then also from Dunelm's, I just got these drying balls, wool drying balls. I've heard good things about these and I thought I would pick some up because, well, they look nice for one reason. I thought they would look nice in the utility room, and yeah, they're supposed to really help with drying. So we don't have a tumble dryer, we have a washer dryer. So it's a washing machine that dries as well. Eventually, as I say, I would quite like to get a proper tumble dryer. Just because sometimes there are times when you need to be washing and drying at the same time, and sometimes it is annoying that you have to wash and then use the same washing machine again to dry, if you know what I mean. Whereas I could be putting on another load of washing and having one load dry at the same time. I know, family problems, but yeah, we will see. We'll see about that. I know they're not the most economical, are they? And probably not the best environmentally friendly wise, but yeah, I'll have a think about that. So I think that was everything I got in Dunelms. And then next to our Dunelms on the retail park, there's a B&M, which I always love to look around a B&M. Who doesn't love a look around B&M? They just have such random things in there, don't they? So in our B&M, if you're not from the UK, you get food, cleaning stuff, sort of homeware bits and pieces. I would say it's kind of similar to like a Target in America. I think Target's probably a little bit sort of more upmarket than B&M, but it's that kind of shop. It's got a bit of everything in it. So I went in to just pick up a few cleaning bits and pieces, and they always have really good organising stuff as well. So let me show you what I got from there. So necessities, I picked up some more scent boosting things. I love these. I know, you know, they're not necessarily necessary, but I do find that they make our laundry smell so nice, and they also just make your whole house smell nice as well. So if you've ever got laundry just hanging around your house drying, it really does sort of freshen your house up. So I really wanted to get some more of those, and I love this dreamy jasmine scent. It's just really nice and flowery and very girly. And then for the utility room, I got these bottles. So I think these are, no, I thought they were Mrs. Hinch, but they're not. They're just called Natural Home. So these are laundry storage bottles. And this is what I wanted for washing liquid, fabric softener, and also to put those scent boosters in. Again, totally unnecessary, but pretty. And I'm very excited about my utility room, so you know, why not? But what I wanted to get for these was the labels. I've seen them in B&M before. They're just kind of sticky labels that say laundry detergent, fabric softener, and all those kind of things, and I was going to get those to stick on them so I could say what was what. But I'm sure they do them on Amazon, or you can actually buy label makers where you can do it yourself. So I might actually look at one of those, because I can see myself getting a little bit carried away with this. So maybe I'll just get my own label maker and do it myself. We'll see. So I got those, and then also in the laundry section I got this, which I think I'm either going to put the dryer balls in, or I'm going to put the dryer sheets in and just have them on the side as well. And then lastly, for the utility room, I just picked this up because I thought it was a really nice tray, and I'd really quite like to get some nice bottles so that I can have hand soap in there and also washing up liquid, and just have those on there by the sink. But they didn't really have any bottles in B&M that I liked, so I'm going to have a look in another shop at another time. And then I thought I would share these because these are so good. So I had, in our other house, in our old fridge, we inherited a new fridge with this house, and we've also got our old fridge in the garage. But I used to have all of my fridge really organised so that it had these pull-out sort of tray things in, with apple juice cartons and like Actimel bottles, and then a basket for ham or sandwich meats, and a basket for cheeses and things. And it was just so easy to pull them out in the morning and make the sandwiches and stuff. And somehow within the move, those baskets got lost. I don't know what's happened to them, but I can't find them anywhere. So I ended up buying, I couldn't get the exact same ones that I used to have actually, which was annoying, because those ones had handles on and they were really easy to kind of pull out of the fridge. But I got these two. I might end up getting some more actually for the fridge, and I'm just going to put all of the cheese stuff in one and all of the ham and sandwich meat in the other, so that I can pull them out in the morning. It might sound as though we have a lot of cheese, but what I mean by cheese is that we have, you know, like little Philadelphia pots and cheese strings and different kind of cheeses and grated cheese and parmesan and they all kind of hang around the fridge. And when you've got these, and you can just kind of pull them out and you know that you're getting all the cheese out, and things like this please me. I can't help it, this is the way I am. And then another thing I got was these baskets. So these are actually, I think, baby baskets for like a nursery, because they've got these pastel-y colours on the handles, but they were only £2.50 each. And what I want to do with these is use them for crisps and snacks and things in our new cupboards, because the cupboards we've got now in this house are really tall ones and they pull out. I'll try and show you maybe in a minute. And at the moment I've just got sort of bags of crisps in their packets on the shelves in there, and it doesn't really work because when you pull the cupboard out, all the crisp bags fall out and it's just not really working. So I kind of guessed the sizes of these because I wasn't really going with these in mind, but I'm hoping they're going to fit on those shelves, and I can just put crisps in here and like cereal bars and cakes and all the little bits and pieces that hang around on shelves like that. And if they work, then I maybe will go back and get some more if I need to. So I got some adhesive storage hooks. I'm thinking that one of these could maybe go on the cupboard in the laundry room so that I can get my ironing bag or whatever I'm going to use hanging on there. And also my daughter needed one on the back of her door for a dressing gown hanger. And I also got a new jug. Now this is very boring, but these kind of jugs are just the things that I never seem to replace. I've had 2 plastic jugs, which I think are from IKEA, for years and years. And they're the kind of ones that just have the numbers and everything the same colour as the plastic. And I can never read the number on the jug, like when I'm putting liquid into it. So I don't know why I haven't replaced them before now, but I just bought this one because it's got black writing on it and I can more easily see what I'm doing with it. And that was only £1.50, so should have done that ages ago, really, shouldn't I? The other jugs will still get used, but when you're actually wanting to measure, it's really handy to be able to see what you're doing, isn't it? Lastly, I got myself a long dustpan and brush. Again, I've wanted one of these for so long and I just haven't bought one, but because our kitchen floor is a lot bigger now and it's got quite a lot of sort of crevices that I've already noticed that crumbs are getting into. I think this is going to be really handy to just pull out and sweep up after dinners and things rather than getting the whole hoover out. So that was my little haul. I did do quite well actually, especially with the storage stuff, I think. So my plan is to take the dog out now, or at least see if he will want to go for a walk. It does look like it's going to tip it down actually. It's gone very black outside. My plan is to just try and get him out after lunchtime every day, even if he doesn't necessarily want to go. I'm just going to try and take him out because that was our routine in the old house. We generally used to just go for a walk after lunch, and yeah, I'm just going to sort of keep doing that and see if eventually he'll want to go. My husband said to me, why don't you just take him back to that field and walk him? It's only 10 minutes away. But my worry is with that is that we will walk there and then he will probably like want to run home back to our old house, and I think that would break my heart a little bit. So I don't really want to do that. I want to get him used to our new area. I hope I'm doing the right thing. Like I say, I'm going to try and talk to the vet about it if it does kind of carry on. But if you do have any tips, if you've moved with a dog and had something similar, then do please let me know in the comments any tips. They would be gratefully received. So I'm going to try and take him out now, and then I'm going to have a play around in the utility room and try and make things look pretty. we go, not much of a change, but it does feel quite a lot more tidy than it did with those big horrible bottles on the side. I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful about my colour choice though with the fabric softener next time. Maybe go for a pink fabric softener rather than the blue. But we will use that one up, of course, before I change anything like that. So I've got my dryer sheets in here, dryer balls in there. This will hopefully have some hand soap and washing up liquid in there. And then over that side I've just popped a little plant because the plant makes everything look better. And I did play around with that picture, but I ended up putting it up there. So that's what the whole countertop looks like now. It still feels very bare to me, so I'm definitely going to have to do a little bit more tweaking and changing and what have you. I've seen on Pinterest some really nice styling ideas, and one of the pictures had a clock up here, which I think might actually look quite nice and be quite useful as well, because I do have to keep an eye on the time a little bit more these days because I'm having to do the school run again. But that's what it looks like in here for now. There will be more updates to follow, I'm sure. So I think I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you so much for joining me for a really lovely day of shopping and organising. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's been a little bit different from normal. Please rest assured that sewing content will be returning soon. But I'd love to know if you do like this kind of content as well, just kind of non-sewing life stuff. When I did my rebrand kind of thing in September, I always kind of intended for things to become a little bit more personal as well, I guess. And then because we then went straight into the move, I always felt a little bit unsettled and as if I wasn't really in a place to kind of share things like that because we were in a little bit of a muddle. But now that we're not, I feel as though I can kind of share like home decorating things and what we're going to be doing to the house and what I'm going to be sewing for the house, and things like that. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, then please do let me know in the comments and I'll try to incorporate more of this kind of thing into my videos. I really hope you are having a lovely week whatever you're up to. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget you can follow me over on Instagram as well. And I also have Patreon if you want more behind the scenes content, and I'll pop the link for all of those in the video description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you are well and that you're having a lovely week, and I'll look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye.